Alright guys, so today we're basically gonna just do like a simple video, right? I've been thinking for a while, what I wanna make. And if I'm being honest, I really don't wanna make any Everclear videos. The second game though, Everclear 2, I'm 100% hype as heck to play that game. But for now, I'm kind of on the fence about it. So I just kept thinking about like what I wanna make. But before all that, so you guys read the title, you've clicked the video, you're like, okay, what do you mean got fired? So let me tell you guys the story with some images too, so you guys can get like a better picture of what happened. So if you guys can tell, I basically was working at a hotel. I was a gardener, stuff like that, working basically just cleaning. We're cleaning some leaves off. Cleaning on the beach where some of the palm trees. They leave the leaves fall from that. Or like a piece of wood, or like a bird's nest. Something like that, or some food or some cups that some tourists just left there. So that was my main job. I've been doing that for about 7 months straight. I haven't this month September would have been actually my eighth, but I got fired. Well, I got sent home because what happened was this, right? So, like I said, I'm a gardener, and our supervisor. I wouldn't say he's like the best person in the world because sometimes he's relaxed, but when his manager basically gets on his ass, he immediately changes. Like one time, I was basically, let's say, like in one of the hideouts, relaxing and stuff, and I remembered he called me and he told me like, oh, you're at the spot again, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, look, you got a lot of things to do at your area. If you don't go do that, I gotta send you home. And I'm like, okay. At that moment, I was like, man, this guy's really. I can't, but I can also like understand too because that exact day somebody stole the leaf blower, and the charger for it too. And when I'm saying they stole it, I mean they went into like a locker room, and that's basically locked with a padlock. The only way you can open it is if you have a key, right? So they found a key, opened the padlock, went in, grabbed the blower and the charger with the batteries on top that was charging that time, and literally went with them. Just literally took them, no problem. So of course he's gonna be pissed about that. But I'm at the same time like, look, as a boss, you can't be pissed off and like come up and like talk to me like that, right? And funny enough, like a couple of minutes later, he freaking passed by me and he literally waved like, "Hey, what's up?" Like nothing happened, and I'm here like, bro, this piece of shit guy, right? Anyway, right? So basically, like I said, I was a gardener. One day he asked me like, "Hey, can you come help me out with this job here?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So after like I think 2 hours, I went back to where he was. I was, "Oh, is he still needing me?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I need you." So me, him, and another worker, we all three of us went towards like this big. I think it's called like cement something. I don't remember the name. I forgot, but I have it on the screen. So basically that, right? Basically so you could plant trees. Now it was really freaking long. It was about I'm like 6 feet, so it was like 6, 12, 18, 24, so like about, yeah, like 24 feet, and it was, like I said, 24 feet, like that freaking wide, uh, right? And no, so that long, right? And then also it was about, you could say like probably like at least 8 feet long, 8 feet wide. Like the basket was like 8 feet wide and 24 feet long, right? So it's a massive thing. So he asked me to like fill it up with sand because they're gonna plant trees, right? And the other worker was there to basically just like change the direction of how the pipe was going, because since I'm filling it with sand, the pipe has to go up. So he came there to do that. He was like, okay, I gotta go to the locker because I needed to get a shovel. He was gonna give me one, and he asked me like when we were in the locker room, he was like, "Bro, you're gonna do that by yourself?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't do anything about that. I guess." He asked me for the help. I was like, "Sure, I'll help anybody that asks." So I basically, so basically gave you the shovel. I started shoveling, putting sand in the whole container and stuff like that. And it was hot as freak. Like where I'm from, it's really hot, and I was wearing all black too because it's so hot, and I had like double shirts on. I had like my normal shirt, and then I had like my work clothes on top of it. But it was super hot, so I took my work clothes off, just working on my normal clothes, and just started like shoveling, and I was getting super tired because it was hot. It was actually nobody was there to like help me out. So then what happened was I basically kept shoveling until like it was break. I grabbed the shovel, put it somewhere, and then I went to the break. I went to the cafeteria. I ate my food, and then talked to one of the friends. I'm like, man, I'm doing that all by myself. Nobody's helping me and shit. He's like, yeah, I know that feeling, blah blah. And it was like, I'm not gonna do it again. So I just literally disappeared, went to like another spot, and I remembered one of the workers that I know came up to me and was like, "Hey, can you like help me out? Oh, can you help me take these light bulbs? Basically, like it was like 5 or 6 boxes of just like light bulbs that they took off from where the construction workers are working because they're like renovating a part of the hotel." And he basically was like tasked to like, take him out. He was like, "Oh, can you help him like take them out faster?" I guess. I mean, he could have done it by himself, but I was like, "Yeah, sure." Somebody asked me, I'll help. So he asked me to like stay in the golf cart. We basically have like golf carts, or like let's say Panthers, I guess they call them. So so he told me to stay here for a hot second. He's gonna grab something real quick. I was like, sure. I was sitting there. I was sitting very comfortably too. I had my AirPods on and my freaking phone. And the manager comes up, literally passes on his golf cart, and I see him. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm helping blah 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 to take this." He was like, "Take what?" "Oh, these lights on the back." "Where?" "Oh, to the shop." Like my shop. I was like, "Yeah." And then he kept looking at me like a fucking like an idiot, right? And this guy like though he imagine like a slug's face. This guy looks like he's high as a kite, right? He has literally like he has glasses on, and he looks like somebody who's just basically hit the most strongest weed ever. He just looks so doobie, right? Talking fucking like Luffy, like Gear 5 Luffy, bro, after like he basically went back to normal, right? Like imagine that face. That's basically it. So he was like, if my manager, if the boss passes here and he looks at you, right, and he calls me about it, I basically have to send you home, right? You know, and I'm like, and do you think I give a fuck, dude? Like, for one, I don't work with a hotel. I work via contract. That's how I got the job because I came to do just like a remove lights, and then I talked with the supervisor himself, and I was like, I want the job and stuff. He was like, I'll talk with him, and I got the job eventually. But because like I said, the manager is a piece of doo doo cheeks, right? I talked with this guy for freaking weeks. It was like, I want a job, I want to work here. Like, you've seen my capabilities. Like, why the heck are you just like not basically, like giving me the job? You're like, you see my capabilities. Like, what the heck? And he's like, oh, there's probably like a place. Meanwhile, there's like so much space that has to be filled. And the thing is, they try to give people too much work for so little pay. Like, dude, I'm talking like $6, and you gotta clean like probably like like I don't know, like at least a whole part of the hotel. Like I'm talking like at least probably the full hotel or like half of it, and you're just getting paid $6 for all that work. I'm like, no way in heck. Yes, granted, you gotta do it like you can take your time with it, but sometimes, bro, these guys would be up your ass about something. They're like, oh, finish this real quick. I'm like, what, bro? I barely like finished with one. So anyway, he told me like, oh, where'd you work? Which is a stupid question. I'm like, I've been here for like 7 months, and this freaking dumbass is basically being like, hey, bro, where'd you work? I'm like, bro, you know where I work. You've seen me. Anyway, he told me to go there. I was like, oh, man, I got super pissed off because of that, right? Then the supervisor called me. He basically yelled at me. He was like, hey, bro, what are you doing? The my manager called me. He was told me was you were sitting, blah blah. Like I told go do the thing that I told you to do, and I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I was pissed off, and it was like 12:45, and bro, it was so hot. Like I'm talking really, I was sweating like crazy. Like I was so sweaty, my clothes was sticking to my body, like literally sticking. So I basically start shoveling again. Like around, like I said, around 12:45. I was getting super pissed off. It was hot. I was already pissed off about the first boss, and in my head I realized like, why the fuck am I doing this shoveling thing? Like I'm not gaining any kind of revenue from this. Like I'm not getting extra money out of it. Like nothing else. I'm just literally gonna get paid my same $8 nonchalantly, right? I got paid $8 because, like I said, contractor they basically were paying me more than the hotel itself. That's why they want to work there, because the problem is the amount I'm gonna get paid is basically gonna be the same amount as the workers, and then I'm gonna be like, no, I rather just keep getting paid more than less. So I kept shoveling until like 1:30, and I was so pissed off at them. I was like, bro, when I'm done with this thing, I'm gonna go to to the supervisor. I'm gonna fucking chew him out, right? Because like I said, for one, like I said, I'm a gardener, and what I was doing was practical construction work. Like no gardener is gonna grab a shovel with sand and fill up a basket like that. Like no one's gonna do that, because the other day it's the construction workers have to finish that, because the construction workers were the people who made it. They had to like fill it with sand, and they also had they also like had things to like uh, uh um bobcats to basically fill the whole container. So they could have just grabbed those, fill it up, but nope, they were like, oh, let's just put it here on the ground, let somebody just do that. Because funny enough, right after I got fired and stuff like that, the next day the supervisor literally sent two construction workers, and they did that. And I'm here like, if you could have sent two people, why the fuck did you call me then, right? They're getting paid for this. They're getting paid for this. I'm not gaining anything extra. I'm just basically doing extra work for free, you know? So that's what kind of pissed me off. I went to him. I literally told him like, are you taking me for a fool? He told me like, he was like, huh, what? I was like, are you taking me for a fool? You're making me do shovel all that dirt for free. I'm not gaining anything from this, right? And then I explained to him like, what I was trying to help this this worker who asked for help, you know, and then I was like, yeah. Then I was just like, yeah, I'm God. I was just gonna walk off, and then it was like, hey, do you know who you're talking with? I'm like, yeah. And do I give a fuck? Like that's the funny part, right? Some of these bosses, supervisors think they're fucking superhumans. I'm like, look, if I punch you in the face, you're gonna bleed out just like me, right? It doesn't matter. If I hit your face, your blood is gonna be red just like me. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get a bruise. You're gonna get a fucked up teeth or some shit. I'm not gonna do all that, But that's the whole thing. I was like, yeah, I don't care. If you don't like, I told him, if you don't like how I'm talking with you, then just send me home then. He was like, yeah, sure. Okay. I was like, yeah, go home then. I was like, cool. I left talking with one of the work pals I have there. I talked with them, like, this is your job. You can't like always get mad. But at the same time, I was like, bro, I was getting so tired of because when I go to work, I just want to finish my job and that's it. I don't want to do other people's job, because the problem is, right, when they need help, right, they call me, but when I need help, nobody comes. Like most of the time, I'm just doing things by myself, doing like a lot of shit by myself. Nobody's there to help me out, right? Like rarely somebody just comes to me, like when somebody needs help, they call me like no problem, right? But most of the time, I'm just by myself. So I'm here like, why am I doing this guy's job? Meanwhile, I do twice his job by myself, right? I was literally thinking about that. I'm like, what's the point? So, like I said, I got fired. Now I'm at my house. It's been like a week already. That whole week I've been thinking like what I want to make for videos, and I was like, you know what? I'll just make what I generally feel like, So if I feel like doing something, I'll just make it, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, I guess, the story. See you guys later. I'll probably think of a video. I think I have an idea for one. But yeah, so yeah, have a nice day too.